Welcome to Home Team Advantage. With Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti here to talk about today's topics in sports, or, well, loosely talk about today's topic in sports.
Well, we're just like the papers. It's learn something new every day in the newspaper.
Well,
Unfortunately, it's not our newspaper.
well, it's yeah, it kind of is, but I can't get into that, but
I know that it's your job.
I know. And
can't
I
talk-
love my
We
job.
can't talk politics. We can't talk jobs.
No, because I've never worked a day in my life. That's what I tell people.
What else is there left for us to cover?
Well, I just thought, whether or not people learn anything from our show or not is another thing, but
We're here for entertainment value only.
and hopefully we're entertaining. If not,
We are to each other.
yeah, we are. But maybe if we're not entertaining, maybe we should H-Patch should kick us off the air.
Why we bring in all that big money for it?
Well,
We got nothing else to show.
there
You
you
got
go.
nothing else to
Oh
go.
yeah,
Yeah.
nothing else to show. So,
It's either creature feature or us two mugs.
Mugs.
You got your choice.
but it's a banner day today because there's new operating systems out for Mac.
Who?
So if you have a Mac phone or whatever, watch or whatever,
Oh, really?
the operating system's now new. So you have to download all that today and get it set up. And
I can turn my phone on and I can turn it off.
That's
my
what we can
granddaughter.
do.
She can make the world turn with that phone, but I can't get anything on it.
so saying that to you is like
Who
doesn't
cares?
mean anything.
That's
Yeah,
right.
It doesn't mean anything.
I suppose I should get into the 21st century.
Well,
I'm still trying to get used to the dial phone.
yeah. But let's if we're going to kick things off. Speaking of kicking things off,
Good segue.
Hibbing football.
Yes.
They did lose 18-0 last week to Proctor. According to Coach Howard, they gave up an interception for a touchdown, and they tried to evidently, must have been late in the game, tried to strip a ball and got burned for a touchdown. So technically, I guess if the defense gave that one up, it's 12 points. But, if you're just sitting there tackling, the defense only gave up 6 points. But you're not scoring.
The problem is they can't get the ball in the end zone, and you still got to support the young men that go out there every day for practice and suit up and go play a game. Sometimes knowing that they're not picked to win, but yet they go out and still play. So I think Coach Howard was pretty optimistic last week, thinking that they could pull a victory out over Proctor. They have Pine City this week. Pine City is struggling this year too, so hopefully maybe they'll get a win.
Well, you bear down on offense.
Yep.
No, he did tell me they did gain some yards last week, so
Mhm.
that's encouraging. So, but now it's when you get inside the red zone, you have to bear down more and work harder and get it into the end zone.
My understanding too is I think they were trying to put one of their bigger linemen in the backfield now to use for blocking back. So maybe they'll develop a fridge like the Chicago Bears and have someone like that. But you hope they do. You just want them to keep playing and not to give up. And it's going to come sooner or later. It's going to come. I mean, they're going to get it, and they're going to get more kids to come out. They're going to get more bigger kids to play, I guess is the right way
Mhm.
to put it. And so I don't care. We talked about if you're a young sophomore, junior, and you're playing both ways, come fourth quarter, I don't care if you're the biggest and strongest guy on the team, you're still going to get tired. And they just got to be able to get the numbers up so they can have kids play one way and maybe a couple two ways. But
Well, it's funny you brought that up about the big kid because there was a former assistant coach a long time ago was at a game, and I'm not sure how long ago this was. Might have been because now he's passed away. But he looked down on the field and he said in the press box, he goes, "You see that big kid down there? He goes, I put him at fullback and I let him run the ball every time.
Yep.
Because by the time the fourth quarter comes, they're not going to want to tackle him anymore."
Yeah.
And that's true. I mean, you got to, stick to, some basic plays. Whether you gain 3, 4, 5 yards a crack, that's fine. I mean, you have 4 downs to get a first down, and
But well, on the other hand, though, unfortunately, the game has changed. It's not 3 yards in a cloud of dust anymore. It's let's go 30 yards.
Yeah.
Throw it down the field.
They want to throw all the time, and I think, put that big kid back there who's got some talent. I mean, obviously, if he can't run the ball, that's one thing, but
He can hit.
they've got some guys. I'll say Thomas Hagan. He's a big kid.
Yep.
Give him the ball, let him run, because by the time the third and fourth quarter comes around, they're going to be so sick of tackling him, they're not going to want to tackle him.
Well, I mentioned to Ron earlier. It's better to be the hitter than the hittee.
So that's obviously not trying to say what they should be doing, but hopefully they have some more success this weekend against Pine City.
Like we really know what we're talking about.
Yeah, well, we don't. So that's why we're sitting
Yes, we
here.
do.
No, that's why we're sitting here and they're coaching. They know more than we do, and that I will, back up 100%. They definitely know more.
You hope for the best for the program. You hope the program continues well. You hope more kids come out and play. They're making and doing things to make the program more inviting for kids. When they get on that new field, it's going to be nice. And, that field's not going to win a game for them, but there's something about playing at your home field and having the fans behind you that give you that little extra boost. So,
Well, again, you just segued into another thing.
Oh,
I had thought that they had already sprayed
the track.
the track,
Nope.
but they haven't.
Right.
And they were supposed to start either today, this Thursday, or tomorrow on Friday. Now the weather's going to be not any good.
Well, it's
And-
hard to spray the track when you got 3 inches of rain.
Well, so now they might. I hate to say this, but this was my original fear in the first place, was that they were never going to play a game on that field, and it does not right now. It doesn't look like it.
I don't know what the particulars are. I haven't really spoken with anyone that has the information as far as what's going to happen. Maybe they won't spray the track until next year and let the kids play. I don't know. So.
Well, then I know I was going to say there, but then the track team has no track for a
Correct.
second straight year,
Yeah, and
that's awful.
that's not going to happen either, because I think they've already scheduled a district or a regional track meet there. So one way or another, it's got to get done. Unfortunately, someone is not going to be able to use the field or use the track, and that's just you. Unless you got a one-way phone conversation with the guy upstairs, not let it
Wow.
rain. We can't you can't control that.
Well, from what I heard, is they got hung up on a job in Indiana this morning,
I don't know about that.
and when they finally get here, but then you still have to wait. I mean, you still have that wait period.
Right.
So they can spray it all they want, but as long as it's done, whether they play a football game on it or not,
Let's get
is
it done.
beside the point. It's just get the track done this year, so at least next spring, they have a track to practice
Yep.
on. Because, for what they accomplished in track this year was amazing for the conditions they went through. I mean, first no track, and then second weather. So,
Well, hands off
and
to
the
the
weather,
coaching staff.
yeah, and you can't do anything about the weather. I get it, but that it's frustrating because we're hoping that thing would have been done in August, and obviously it wasn't.
No.
So, but
That black cloud that hangs over the town all the time, one of these days it's going to blow away.
it's hanging over my head. It's going to blow away over the town and hang over my head. I know that for a fact.
And we don't even have our sponsor this morning, so no
No.
wonder why you're a little cranky.
Yeah, that's all
Or
right.
Caribou Coffee,
Yeah.
whatever, Mago, Wago, whatever. it is
Thanks
that
to
you
Caribou
drink.
Coffee for being an unofficial official sponsor of our show.
Yep.
That's our producer just buries
Just pulled another gray hair out.
Yeah. But volleyball did win a game. They beat Duluth Denfeld, but then on Tuesday they lost to Grand Rapids, and they have Hermantown here tonight. It's no lack of effort. The girls are playing hard, but
Well-
they're just not. Things are not clicking for them.
According to your story on page 3 of today's paper, Grand Rapids is probably the #1 team in the area.
More than likely, or Hermantown. I mean, we'll
Okay.
find out because Hermantown beat Greenway the other day, and Greenway's usually
Up there.
Yeah, so and I'm Greenway is defending 7A double A champions, I believe. So maybe Hermantown's that team to beat this year. But Rapids look good. They didn't have a letdown. Usually volleyball teams, momentum's a big thing, but they usually, you might win game one, and then all of a sudden a letdown comes, and you lose momentum, you might lose game two, but they didn't seem to lose any momentum on Tuesday. So,
Well, I think it's like any other sport, Gary. If you're consistently good and you can keep that even keel throughout a whole match or game or whatever you want to call it, you're successful. So,
but when we might sound like a broken record, but when you're like 5'5" or 5'6" at the net, that's and Rapids has some taller girls. I'm not saying much taller, but probably maybe 5'11" to 6 feet. But you're going to be small or not tall, you have to get in the weight room.
Yep.
And this goes for every sport. This just isn't being said about volleyball. Get in the weight room, get yourself weight specific or sport specific weight training, and make yourself better, because you're going to have to be able to jump.
for all your sports,
Yeah.
not just one.
Yeah, all your sports. You have to be able to jump in volleyball, so work on your vertical, whatever that takes. I'm not a trainer, so I have no idea. But I know you probably have to lift your core and get your legs stronger and more spring, and then it doesn't matter if you're 5'6" or 5'7".
Just think if we had that kind of training when we were younger.
Oh, yeah, I would have been. I don't know what I would have been.
Well, you would have had stronger legs.
I would have had stronger legs, yes, but I'm trying to find a way to put this. I wasn't an athlete. Oh, I was an athlete, but not nearly an athlete as.
I wasn't an athlete either, but I was an athletic supporter.
Yeah, yeah, and we know what that means.
Yeah. We're both jocks.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, I don't remember. That's the thing is we've talked about it maybe before. But when I was in high school, I didn't play football, but I was with the football team as a manager. But I don't remember us ever going into a weight room.
Oh, there's no such thing back 20, 30 years ago as weight training. What is that?
Well, and guys may have lifted weights on their own, but I don't ever remember, a strict program. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I went in the weight room. They had 2 stones attached to a stick. Okay, lift that.
You know what I'll do, though? If I see at the golf course, if I see like Chris Leesmacky or somebody, I'll ask him
Okay.
what they did about that and find out.
Speaking of that, can we might as well segue into the golf part of it? Course still in pretty good shape after the big tournament.
Yeah, very
Good.
nice. Big tournament out there the Fall Classic
Yep.
this weekend. So if you're trying to get out there, you won't be able to.
Are you playing this year?
No,
No,
not
okay.
playing. I played in the Muni 3-man.
How'd that go?
Putting this mildly, not great.
Oh.
Last year we made championship flight. This year we were in the 4th flight, and there's 5 flights.
Getting used to those new clubs yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Hopefully soon.
Good.
Got better yesterday, but I still got to get. But it's not the clubs, I'm spending all this money, and it's not the clubs; it's the golfer. I will say this too. This one make you laugh.
Not the golfer, it's the golfee.
I was out hitting golf. I was out on the range hitting balls, and another gentleman was out
Were they
there.
your balls?
They were the club's balls. And another gentleman, I won't say who it was.
You didn't hit his balls, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Well, after he left, I did because he wasn't hitting them anymore. But he looked at me and he goes, "Have you ever had lessons?"
Oh,
And I said, "Did I tell you this?"
yes.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So he said, "Did I say this on the air last week?"
No, but go ahead.
Well, so I said no, and he goes, "You need them." So,
Yeah, but continue on.
well, then he was gracious enough to
Give you some
look at-
pointers.
give me some pointers,
Yep.
and it was all good. It was all good. I mean, there's not. I thought it was funny when he said that. Because it was like,
But you left the range with a little more confidence because you were hitting the ball straighter and
Yeah.
right from the tips. And then you got on the golf course and everything went to hell.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Whoops, did we say hell? Sorry.
Scratch golfer on the range, but about a 20 handicap
Handicap
when you
on
get
the
on a
course.
So, but it worked out a little bit. And I'm glad, I appreciate the fact that he helped me. And, I should probably go through the club pro if I take lessons. But
Well, when I was growing up, my father was a scratch player. For those who don't know what a scratch player is, he was very good.
right around par.
He was very good, and I think I could probably give more lessons to people right now because I learned from having my hair pulled to keep my head down to shifting your weight and inside out and all this kind of. And I'm still not a very good golfer. But,
So that gene didn't quite connect into
well,
you.
I played.
You played okay?
High school. Yeah, I played on the
Oh.
high school golf team, the state tournament. So it was fun. Been around a golf course for quite a few years when I was younger, working and doing stuff. So yeah, just don't have the tools to work with right now.
All
between
right.
all the fake parts that don't want to work anymore.
Well, then I apologize for thinking the golf team didn't pass from your dad down into you. So.
Yeah, I got plenty of lessons. I think I still got a couple of his old clubs too. So. One thing, I could never beat him, no matter
Oh,
how old he was and how good I thought I was. I could never beat him.
you
And it
could
was
probably,
all
if
up
he
here.
was 80, he could probably shoot an
He
80.
could still beat me. Yeah.
He could probably shoot his age or better.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a goal of a lot of older gentlemen is to shoot their age or better.
Especially when you get on the green and you're 3 feet away and he's 8 feet away. He sinks it and he walks by and goes, "Make sure you read that the right way." Whoops! There it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah, all over the place.
Anyways,
Swimming has a big invite coming up, 9 o'clock for diving, 1 p.m. for swimming on Saturday, the Hibbing invite. There's probably 8 teams there, all from the region, I think. And, well, all from Section 7 anyway, for sure. Tennis is over in Rock Ridge today.
girls tennis doing very well.
Yeah, they're
15
15 and 2, but one of those 2 losses was to Rock Ridge the second week of August. So we'll see how much they've improved
Yep.
today. Well, obviously it's raining out, so I don't know if they're going to play it or not. I know Virginia has the indoor courts, but I think that both coaches agreed that if it does rain, they want to reschedule it
And
for
I'll
next
play here.
week and not play, not play here, but play over there because both teams have a lot of players, and even the junior high and junior varsity kids have to get a chance to play. And if they go indoors, they won't get that opportunity. So,
Well, hopefully there's that. Maybe there'll be that little break in the weather, like
Mm-hmm.
they say this afternoon. It'll clear up and they can play this afternoon, and then we get our 4 inches of rain. Tomorrow and
yeah,
Saturday?
that would be that's what would happen. Well, that's what actually there's the girls soccer match on Saturday has been postponed because of some injuries and COVID.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so hey, it's still around, but
Yeah, well, you're just reading this wonderful paper that we get here that, what is it, the World Health Organization said that the COVID cases are the lowest they've been
Well.
before it started. So
but obviously
now it's monkeypox.
Yeah, a couple girls evidently came down with
That's
it.
too-
So
Yeah, but again, I'm not going to say anything.
well,
Do they have
Whether-
do
whether
they have a
you
cold or is it COVID?
well, they always say COVID now, so it's not like it's.
Yeah.
Boys soccer, I know they lost on the Cloquet the other
Tuesday.
night, but Cloquet now is, and there I touched my face again, but they were the defending section champs and they lost 3-0, which isn't bad, except Hibbing didn't get much.
Scoring opportunity?
Yeah, so that's got to change. That has to change.
Yep.
What else? What are we forgetting?
Cross country?
Cross country girls went down to Mora and won that meet by a lot. So obviously they're going to be another power this year in 7 AA,
Good.
I believe, 7 AA. Melina Sullivan won the individual championship,
Nice.
and you had like Gianna Figueroa and Jocelyn Strukel, Avery Kakowski, and I'm going to forget a name now.
I was driving down 7th Avenue last week, and kids were out running, and I had my window down, and I just happened to hear the coach behind him. "Don't worry, keep going. We're almost there. It's only another 10 miles."
Yeah, James, please.
No, it wasn't Coach Please.
Oh, it wasn't. It was, well, maybe it was Scally or Sullivan, Serena Sullivan.
Serena Sullivan it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, he's got an excellent coaching staff with Ryan Olson and Scally and Serena.
Yep.
They'll make sure those girls don't get complacent and
Yeah. So,
not, you know, at least go to state. Whether they win the section again or not, it's another thing. But at least be in the top 2 to go.
good.
So they won't let them get complacent over that.
Well, let's talk pros.
All right.
We got a few minutes left here.
You got the Vikings in the Super Bowl.
Well, we got our producer director extraordinaire over there with his Viking sweatshirt on.
Drinking purple Kool-Aid.
Actually, they look pretty good. The Vikings.
Yeah, I did. I watched the recording of it. Yeah, they did. Except last year they had a problem scoring touchdowns in the second half of games, and this year they did not score a touchdown in the second half of this game, which would have put Green Bay out of, you know, which would have put them away earlier.
Right. They got to learn to. What is it? They got to
Step on the
step
throat.
on the throat when they get them down. But yeah, it's kind of nice to see the Green Bay quarterback having a few problems, whining and crying, and although it could have been a different ball game if that rookie would have caught that pass, that first touchdown pass that he dropped. That might have made a big difference. So
It may have, and you know, I know Patrick Peterson was on a talk show, and I didn't hear, you know, I can't remember what he said, but I suppose he thought he was going to jump a route and didn't. So hopefully he doesn't get beat like that, because if he gets beat like that in every game, we're not going very far.
No. But
So-
so they got, as you were mentioned earlier before we came on the air, they've got an interesting schedule. They Monday Night Football, they're at Philadelphia, and then they come back and is it
Detroit.
Detroit after that. They get to see the number 2 pick from Michigan play against them, and then they go to Europe
Yeah,
at 8 in the
London.
morning.
Yeah, against New Orleans. Fortunately, that's not our home game,
Yeah. So
so at least we're not blowing a home game away.
well, you know, if you had a ticket for that game, how does that work?
Suppose you fly over there and get in. I don't know.
Hey, if you're going to afford a Viking season ticket, you can fly to Europe.
Well,
and
no, well, yeah, if it's
where their
Viking, but
prices
now
go
it's a
right
New
now.
Orleans season
Yeah.
ticket, and I don't know what they charge for theirs,
Yeah.
but
So we'll see how well they, you know, if they can. We'll see how well they do. It's a tough schedule. Philadelphia is not that bad, and New Orleans looked pretty good the last Sunday, and Detroit. We'll see what Detroit only lost by what 2 or 3 to. Who the hell did they put? Whoops,
I
they
don't
did it again.
remember.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember who they played,
Better
but
get
yeah,
that.
they're the feel good team now because they were on Hard Knocks on
Yeah.
HBO.
Yeah.
So people are starting to like Detroit, but we'll see how good they are.
Well, they beat the Vikings last
Well,
year.
yeah, but almost any team, 9 teams beat the Vikings last
Yeah.
year, so that's not saying much.
But the encouraging thing is that their offense, it seems like everybody is on board now. They're more enthusiastic about the fact that they keep their foot to the pedal and they keep throwing the ball. And Cook, did he change his number?
Change it to 4, yes.
Yeah. What, Brett Favre?
I don't know. You'd think they would have retired. You only played here.
Well,
2
they can't
years.
retire his jersey now because he's in trouble. So,
Yeah, he's in big trouble,
yeah.
evidently.
So, scamming. Ooh, not good.
Well, we'll see what comes of it, because I'm sure he can pay it back if he needed to. So, but yeah, they're on pace to go 17-0. Justin Jefferson is on pace for 3,000 yards if things work out like that every week
Well,
for him.
if that works out, I've got some. How's that song go? I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona.
I want to sell you.
You can sell you.
Well, you never know. I mean, obviously, teams
They-
are going to
they
make
were-
adjustments.
They're not going to go undefeated.
No, I don't think that either. But
Just like we thought
Jefferson-
the Twins were going to win the division.
Yeah. Well, good segue.
Yep.
Yeah, they're 5 games out with like 22 to play.
Last night they were given an 8% chance to win the division. Cleveland was first, White Sox were second, and Twins had 8% chance.
Well, then this weekend they go to Cleveland for 5 games. They're going to have to return to favor to the Guardians
And win all 5.
and sweep them.
Yeah, which is almost impossible.
You don't. Yeah. It's not, Well, I didn't think the Guardians would sweep us either, but
But although you got to be encouraged by Sonny Gray, and you got to be encouraged by the
Joe Ryan.
Joe Ryan, who both pitched into the 7th inning of not giving up a run, which apparently the Twins haven't done since 1923. So.
No hitter.
Well,
I
Ryan
had a
had a
no-hitter.
no-hitter.
What do you think about that? Do you think our buddy Rocky Balboa made the wrong move?
I don't. After reading some stuff on Twitter, I mean, number one, he has to pitch on Sunday against Cleveland, which
Right.
if he would have thrown 120 or more pitches in that game, maybe that might not have been a
He
good
was at
thing.
106 pitches.
Yeah, and he still had 6 outs.
Six
to go.
outs to go, and you got a chance to get a no hitter, and you don't, and you're up 6-0, and you pull them. That's atrocious.
I'm not saying I was for the decision, but
Well, he wasn't.
no, I'm sure he wasn't. I would have probably. Well, my question is why through 7 innings is he at 106 pitches? It's in a shutout.
Yeah, well,
I mean, what was he? I mean, how many pitches was he throwing per batter previous to that?
yeah, well, no hitter too. I mean,
Well, I know, and he only walked 2.
you know, we need more guys like Jack Morris when the coach comes out. Oh, I got to pull you. He looks up and goes,
No,
take a walk.
go.
I'm
Yeah.
finishing this.
I don't know. I mean, I know maybe Kansas City fouled off a lot of baseballs. I don't know,
Yeah.
but 106 pitches through a no hitter.
That's nothing.
That's a lot through 7 innings. I think.
Yeah, well. Oh, now,
I could
now
see
you're
it.
on this philosophy.
No, I
Oh,
wish he
5
would have finished it
5
off.
innings. I'm lucky they kept him in after 5 innings.
Well, yeah, that I don't agree with.
And then they bring the other guy in, and he gives up 3 runs. So,
No. Well, he got him out in the 8th inning, and they had the no hitter going into the 9th.
Right.
It would have been nice if he could have finished it off. He must have given up a home run or something.
I think so. I didn't catch the last part of the game, so
I
I was too frustrated after watching Rocky Balboa make that
Well,
move.
it's unfortunate for Ryan that he didn't get a chance to do that. And I guess just to close here, Pat Micheletti's been a frequent guest on our show. Thank you for him. But his brother Don is going through some cancer right now, and I know you can empathize with that. I know that. So we send out our best to the Micheletti family, and hopefully everything turns out all right there.
Let's hope so.
So hopefully we'll have Pat on again here
Good.
with the NHL season.
I'm sure he
starting.
misses us.
Well, I'm sure, yeah. He's not busy enough to ever think about
You
coming
see him in
on
the
our show.
kitchen in the morning. Honey, those 2 guys are on the phone again.
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
He doesn't miss you, he watches every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He watches us every week.
All right. So for Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next week.
Hibbing Public Access Television would like to thank U.S. Bank for providing us with studio space.